My name is Brett Grill. I'm a sculptor out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Started the project about 2 years ago. There's been a lot of different voices and a lot of different input. It's been a real communal project. We picked a really handsome spot for the sculpture on the corner of Moorhead and Kings. He's staring out toward the clock tower, which is really nice, and he's framed really beautifully by the buildings behind him. In my opinion, he's a wonderful anchor at the end of the trail, and it's fitting that it's him because of his legacy to the region and frankly to the country as well. I'm honored to be a part of the project. It's especially fun for me because of Duke's legacy. All the things that the endowment has done, throughout the years, starting in the 20s up until now. It's almost 100 years now that the endowment's been active. So it's important to me to be telling stories that are still, a part of our culture and our history now. Part of the difficulty was just that Mr. Duke was not photographed much. He was just not a public person. And that was one of the interesting things about the project, is just learning a little bit more about his life. So I had a limited amount of source material to work with. The most difficult parts about creating the piece physically, actually making the sculpture, was getting a sense of movement in him. You walk around the world and cities all over the nation, there's lots of stiff sculptures out there. So it was really my goal to make Mr. Duke seem as dynamic and active as possible. So that's told in every fold in his clothing and the body that's moving underneath. So that was really the most difficult part, and ultimately the part that I'm most proud of as a sculptor. So part of the reason why he looks the way that he does, slimmer, a little bit more grand, is that we wanted an image of him that seemed like it was vital. There's several quotes by him that sort of emphasize the reasons why he was successful, and one of them was that he really valued his work ethic. So we wanted him to seem like he was somebody that was full of life, full of energy, and that's part of the reason why we designed the sculpture the way that it did. He's striding forward, his coat sort of billows out behind him to emphasize that kind of activity and the dynamic guy that he was.